This is Paul. I accidentally turned that off. Did you know I'm attracted to white women? Now, large-breasted white women. White women. These the whitest state in the union. Is that like a racial slur when you call a woman white? The Smithsonian's using again these racial slurs. If I call a woman black, she'd say I'm African American. But I call a white woman white, she'd say that's a racial slur. Smithsonian. No. What if I was to go to Maine and I said, get me all the mills that are no longer working and they used to be making paper with them and we just can't use those old buildings. I mean, they're still there. Did they demolish the actual mills themselves? As I remember it, Maine's up in the the northeast part of the United States. Yes. They got a lot of white women there. Yes, they do. You know, it's possible to retool for lots of different industries. And I know there's a lot of trees. Okay. That's why you had paper mills. But what else could you use that old building for? Just give me the ownership of every mill in Maine. Yes. And then throughout the United States. Thank you, Sarah. A good friend of mine was playing bingo last night, and I think she won. All right. Now, let's think about it. Maine, white women, large breasts, and empty mills. Pooh, what else can we make there? It snows a lot there. Yeah, it's cold. They got a lot of freezing temperatures. What could I, I, I have known somebody from Maine. I haven't known a lot of people from Maine. In fact, I think I just have known one person from Maine. But it's 94.9% of it's white. White women. There's white women. White women. You know, this is the Cleveland model. Oh, what's this right here? Oh, imaginary company. Oh, look at it. They're growing vegetables in Maine in the middle of winter. Let's say I took out all the mill, the actual mill machinery that was used to make paper, and it was just some big empty mill, and they had all this lettuce growing in there. Now, what could you use? Oh, big empty buildings to produce food. Oh, Evergreen Cooperative has been so, it's known as the Cleveland model. Now, level payment is high and continuing to grow. Now, a building, right, that it has walls on it. Yes. It has a roof. Yes. And it's not being used to make paper, but there's no way that you could use a hydroponic farm to grow food in there if you removed all the equipment. There's some broken windows. What if I used recycled garbage and I was to seal the whole thing and insulate it? Got a lot of water in Maine, do you? Trees for somehow grow. It's not one of those desert areas because it snows a lot. Now, they had some 10,800 heads of lettuce were shipped that day. Oh, there's nothing that you could use. It costs too much to keep it warm. Oh, there's not enough sunlight because it's northeast of the United States. There's a few large-breasted white women that live there. Yes, very attracted to that state. What if I recycled, surplused all of the mill equipment? I decided to insulate the outside of it so as to preserve the the necessary square footage. Yes, and I maybe used a wobbler or some other technology so as to heat the place at a constant temperature. Yes, and then I decided to grow vegetables in in mills. Now, how much does it take to not make any profit but not have any loss? Yes. See, that's a big deal, right? You say that I always have to enrich myself, but what if I'm rich and I don't need to make any additional money? I just need to make sure that there's employees and that there's a food supply that, well, even the richest American, as much as they disbelieve this, pooch, when there's a complete starvation, right? This 3.25 acre hydroponic greenhouse on a once blighted lot, yes. Even the wealthiest persons can find themselves without food. Ooch. It's been proven throughout history. Well, there was some problems during Germany in the Nazi era in hyperinflation. Let's say you got $7 billion. Zimbabwe. Pooch. All of a sudden, your $7 billion buys you a loaf of bread because you didn't realize the importance of the food supply. Wealthy individuals don't actually believe in hyperinflation. Your assets are only valued in what they're saleable as. When food no longer is plentiful, it can cause inflationary concerns that causes your billions of dollars to be only good for the purchase of a loaf of bread. So why don't you get me? Every empty building in Maine where it snows a lot, they have a lot of trees and large-breasted white ruin.